everyone, and welcome to a new episode of Accessa TechTalks. I'm your host, Radu, and today we'll talk about critical infrastructure. We hear about this topic a lot on TV, in the news, on the web, and I think that there are interesting aspects that are waiting for us to explore when it comes to critical infrastructure. Joining me today is Benedikt Hirschfelder, a senior business developer at Accessa. And Benedikt has experience in this field, and he will help us discover its current state, the challenges, the opportunities that this sector has, and further interesting ideas around it. Benedikt, welcome to our show.
Hi, Radu. Thanks for having me. Great to be on your show. Critical infrastructure somehow has always been part of my life. I have been studying abroad in South Africa, and I experienced the day zero, which comes along with zero water in Cape Town. So for me, the criticality of not having water, is a quite interesting experience and has also influenced my further jobs. So I always tried to somehow connect IT with critical infrastructure and also work in that area. So beside already having a touch point during my studies, I then continued also in Germany to have this topic in my jobs and also in my work.
I think it's clear that you have a strong background in this field. And I think you're also the right person to be asked the following question. How would you evaluate the current situation regarding digitalization in the German critical infrastructure?
Yes, it's also a very good question and interesting question when it comes to Germany. I think as always, there was a little delay with digitalization, but it was mainly also pushed through Corona happenings and the crisis that came afterwards with the war, that digitalization now becomes a very crucial point in the German critical infrastructure, because we have recognized also in Germany that without digitalization, we really missing the point. And there has been a huge acceleration in the last, let's say, 5 years in digitalization. And it's very interesting to watch that a lot of streams come now together.
Since Germany is the mother country of SAP, how are ERPs used in critical infrastructure today? And what role do they play?
Yeah, I mean, as in every industry, ERPs play a major role. And you're right, SAP is also in the utility sector used rather directly or by subcontractors that implement SAP for utilities in the critical infrastructure. However, sticking a little bit with SAP, we all know about the change from on-prem to cloud, and that there also has been set a deadline. That is very interesting. I think we all facing here a new movement into the cloud of very sensitive data. So I think what is always important to keep IT security in mind. However, it's not only the only provider. There are also a lot of other ERP providers that have built up functioning systems in the critical infrastructure market. And it's not about who is making the race. It's rather which solution fits best to the individual application that your utility or the utility has to face. Some have water and electricity and gas. Some just have water and electricity. So there is a huge mix. So for everyone, there is a great fit in there. Obviously, you also have to keep in mind the size.
And what about Accessa? So we are a pretty big company. We have our core DNA in banking. Do we project any ideas and visions also into critical infrastructure?
Yeah, I mean, working for Accessa, I do not want to do too much advertising, but entering the critical infrastructure field, there are a lot of parallel streams. For example, the critical infrastructure also requires huge expectations on IT security, because it's critical data as well. It's critical to have this like sector safe, because we recognized already when you like count Deutsche Bahn and the train system of Germany into like critical infrastructure, that one big power line can like really mix up and also danger like a lot of like transportation and so on, if this like huge line or the power cut is like cut. So I think like in that regard, there are like a lot of similarities, particularly from the IT security, as well as like similarities when you implement structure individualized. So not just like roll out a normal software and see how you can like bend around the software. No, at Accessa, we can also like bend the software individually to your requirements. And I mean, that was quite impressive when I came here and like saw already what we're doing. So that is like a lot of fun to like fulfill the customer's requirements and also like make it fit.
We think, or we can assume, that the big players already have solutions. However, also in previous episodes, we touched on this, let's say, target comprised of small and medium companies in Germany, because usually they are the ones maybe not finding the solutions so easily all the time. So my question would be, what is your recommendation for small and medium utilities in Germany?
Yeah, comparably the German Mittelstand, yeah, we like the Mittelstand keeps like Germany going. And you're completely right. It's not that easy to just like roll out like a big software package in like an individualized environment. So I think like there it's really important to like stay focused and really ask yourself, what are your requirements that you really need, as well as like what hurdles you have to overcome and what vision do you have in 3 and 5 and in 10 years. Because considering the fact and considering demographics in Germany, that like we have like really a lot of people retiring in the next 3, 5, 10 years, we now have to like set like the way into a direction where we can use software more efficient to like also overcome these problems. And I think it is possible. It is also possible to like plan now software into like this specific niche in. And my recommendation is, I think, like to start like doing like the basis now to like build on this basis tomorrow.
Although it was a pretty short episode today, I think we covered a lot. Thank you, Bennett, for sharing these ideas and for sharing the mic with me today.
Thanks, Radu. It was such a pleasure.
And that was our episode on critical infrastructure. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something new. And if you are already in this sector, I hope it sparked your interest to explore it even further. Until next time, subscribe to Accessa TechTalks on BrightTalk and follow Accessa on LinkedIn and YouTube for more expert conversations on digital transformation and beyond. Stay safe, stay curious. Until next time.